Let's go, let's go, let's go. Hello, everyone. Okay, boy, oh boy. I wasn't planning on staying up, but you know what? Me being me, I gotta talk about stuff when I run into stuff. So, yeah. So let me get Rumble caught up here. Rumble hates when you try to rush it. So, yeah. There we go. I don't know why YouTube isn't going. There we go. Okay. Good enough. All right, we are up and running. Don't know how long I'll be on here. Just things don't get better. I mean, Democrats just can't freaking help themselves. Because here we go again. And yes, this guy, Sri Thanadar, is a nobody in the Democrat Party. Honestly, he really is a nobody. The big reason he's doing this is try to get himself out there. The Democrats are trying to find anybody who can, they're lost. They have nothing. And all this does to me is show that, stunningly, the Democrats have not learned a damn thing by their loss. They are still going to give the finger to every American voter who voted for Trump. And that is, according to the election, over half of the country. Almost every county in America, not all, but almost every county moved to the right, towards Trump. That is a stunning rebuke to the Democrats. Yet, in standard Democrat friggin' fashion, they are still going to go, no, 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 no. That's exactly what the Democrats are these days. They are the little child in the grocery store throwing a tantrum because they can't have mommy and daddy won't buy them a whatchamacallit bar. They're the ones that walk around and throw a tantrum, knocking stuff off the shelves, and mom and dad aren't doing anything. Trump is here to put you over the knee and give you a spanking. And Democrats are just proving they've learned not a damn thing. That all their bullshit got everybody turned against them. Oh no, they cannot let that go. They are just going to shake their head, throw their tantrum, and do the same thing and go, no, no, you want this. You know you do. So here we go again, and I don't care if this guy's small or not in the party, the very fact that they have the balls to put out another impeachment, which is one of the things a lot of moderate people said they hated about the Democrats. They did nothing. They had no policies. All they had was Trump hate, Trump hate, Trump hate, Trump bad, Orange man bad, TDS. That's all they had. And now they are proving every voter that said that right. They are showing why their poll ratings keep dropping. Last I saw, some polls had them in the mid to upper teens. Not even the 20%. Some polls will have them right around 23, 24. But holy crap. The sheer mental, moronic gymnastics the Democrats have to do right now to just go, you know what? Yep, this loss is the election. We're going to double down on all of it. We're going to double down on the Trump hate, double down on the man can't do anything. They are pissed right now because Trump showed how much of a load of fucking liars they are. Oh, we can't do nothing at the border. We need comprehensive immigration reform. Translation, you just need to be able to write it into law that all these 20 million people you brought in, yep, get to stay. And then you can bring in another 2 to 4 million a year from now on. Yeah, that's all it was about. And now Trump goes and knocks it down. What last month? 894 came in. We had thousands a day coming in. This is stupid. 894 in a month compared to thousands a day. So they have learned nothing. Then you got the biological boys in girls sports crap. Holy shit. That was one of the biggest ads Trump won. It really turned a lot of people. People are tired of this shit. But oh no, we're going to double down on that too. I mean, what in the holy back end of a donkey's tennis shoe are the Democrats even thinking these days? It is really hard to get a handle on the sheer blind, I don't know if it's stupidity or they just can't let go of the hate or their power or whatever it is. I'm thinking it's power. I don't think it's hate at this point. The only reason they hate Trump is because he's a threat to their power. And yes, a lot of Republicans are in that same boat. They hate Trump too because he's a threat to their power. Just a lot of Republicans go along with it because they are at least receiving some power out of this. And they see a way to use Trump's popularity to get themselves somewhere. A lot of the deep state or deep, long-time Congress, rats, all of them, both parties, hate Trump because they are in there for decades saying, oh, I'm going to do it if you give me one more time. Trump comes in, poof, 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 done. Shows they are all fucking liars. I don't care who you are, Democrat, Republican, center, libertarian, I don't give a rat's ass. Look at how much these people are lying to the American public and how long they've been lying to you and me. Look at who you voted for and who you keep voting for over and over and over, but you notice how they never really get the things done we want. When 70+% of American voters for the last 10 plus years at 70 to sometimes some polls showed 80% want voter ID. Yet, hey, we can't do that. But vote me in again and I'll keep trying. They hate Trump. They hate him for showing things can be done. But this Rep. Thanador, what a jackass. I mean, jeez Louise. We can make all the jokes about how he looks and how he sounds and everything else, whatever. Yeah, and some of it is validly funny and a little off-putting, but yeah, okay. Also going to talk a little bit about some impeachment stuff, and Michelle Obama feels so unsafe. What a moron. But yeah, okay, Rep. Thanador here. All right, Shrill Thanador, the Democrat rep, filed impeachment charges against Trump, reportedly left over 150 dogs and monkeys to starve at an abandoned New Jersey testing lab that he owned. Yeah, it went out. He let it go out of business and just let the animals and walked away. He's not some great guy. Then everybody's posting that. Here's his. Just introduced articles on impeachment against Donald Trump for acts of tyranny that undermine American democracy. God, okay. I'm not the prettiest person in the world, but yeah, the guy does look a little off. It looks like, it'd be somebody who could be related to Sloth in Goonies. But, yeah, acts of tyranny undermine American democracy. Where was this jackass when Biden pulled his crap with Afghanistan? When Biden got us involved in wars around the world? Where was he when Biden was trying to enact a agency of government truth-saying, pretty much, in 1984 George Orwell style? Oh, the government's going to tell you what the truth is, even though it's proven that all the stuff they stood for then has now been proven lies. So yeah, the government board of disinformation or whatever it was, with Mary Poppins singing doofus, who's now over in the UK, still spouting her censorship shit over there. And how she's butthurt because we don't have more censorship here. She's just over there trying to nail you UK people down with more censorship. Shit. But Rep. Shrill Thanador here, Michigan, no surprise. Acts of tyranny. I will say I watched a Piers Morgan interview and Tim Pool was on there, and I'll give Tim some credit. Tim called this jackass out because he's like, Trump is deporting American children. No, he's not. He deported the illegal alien parents who came here, dropped their baby here, had their kid here as an anchor. No more of this shit. You don't get to sneak across pregnant or come across as illegal, screw and have your baby. Well, now we have to stay because we have an American citizen. That is why the 14th Amendment needs repealed, because the writers of the 14th even addressed that no, they knew this shit could happen. They said, no, it is not for people to sneak across the damned border. It is not for people to come across here illegally, drop a baby, or come across and screw and have a baby. They go, well, now that's American. No, that is not what it was meant to be. Look up the writers of the 14th Amendment and they say bullshit. Even back then, they knew it could be abused. And this guy, where was he during all of Biden's illegality? Where were the courts? So this guy is a nobody. Nobody heard of him until now, and I'm telling you, if you've heard this guy talk, I don't like to pick on legal immigrants in this country. I really don't. But if you are here in this country, if you're going to be in our government, you should be able to speak fucking English in such a way where people can clearly understand your ass. If we can't clearly understand you, you should not be in our government. I'm sorry, I don't give a shit where you're from, but if you're here legally, you do not get to be in our government if we can't understand you. It is stupid. If you can't clearly communicate with the people of America, yeah. But old shaggy dog, raccoon on his head looking puppy here, man, he is a screwball. Let's see here. I had a couple more. Oh, I got bookmarks over here on him. Let me see. Let's get to them. Sorry, guys. It is 4:09 a.m. and I am a tired little monkey. Oh, here. Let me get my headphones on. I can't remember what this one was. Like I said, I'm really up late. I've been running on about 3 hours sleep, so I apologize. Hey, Far North Dirt Tracking, how you doing, man? Paul, hey, how you doing, buddy? All right, I can't remember what this one was, so I apologize. This guy wants to impeach President Trump. Democrat Rep. Sri Thanadar doesn't even know about the current events happening in America right now. Okay, let's see what this monkey has to say. That's not, don't go the racist thing on me. I call my dogs monkeys. I call my cats monkeys. I say rat's ass. I make up animal terms for me instead of cussing. So I try to tone my mechanic mouth back a little. It's not a racial term.
Congressman, what do you think about the truckers going to the border?
What's your question?
What do you think about the truckers going to the border?
What about it?
Do you think it's good or bad that all the truckers are going to the border this weekend in Texas?
And yes, I know this is old, but this guy didn't even know shit back then. He's a nobody.
What are they going there? I didn't know about it.
You don't know? What's your name?
My name is Sri Thanadar.
Where are you from?
I am from Michigan.
God bless you, peace.
Now, the problem is, yeah, he's a know-nothing. And I'm going to say he's lying here. They say he doesn't know anything. I'm sorry. I'm going to disagree with Liberocrat here. Liberocrat. I'm going to disagree. Oh, he knows. He just won't say. They ignored the border. Now, on the Piers Morgan interview I watched, where Tim Pool's on there and a couple others, Batya Ungar-Sargon was on there, but this Jerkosaurus, when asked by Piers, hey, don't you think he's done good on the border? You have to admit that, though. And he goes, well, he's had a little bit of good on the border, but not much. Actually, he's got the military on. He's really not doing good. What the fuck? We had thousands a day coming in. Trump clamps it down to it's like 800 to 900 a month across our whole southern border. That's an amazing drop in that amount of real estate. But this jackass, oh no, I don't see any of that good happening. No, none of that good. Bullshit. So right here, he knows he's just gonna play that stupid game. But this is the guy that wants to impeach Trump. And it's just one more fucking bit of proof. The Democrats, the very fact that Democrats aren't coming out and decrying this and going, shit, no, dumbass, stop it. Please stop. Because if Democrats had any common sense, they'd be out there going, shut the fuck up. This is one of the things that turned America against us. They'd also be looking to the governor of Maine and going, hey, get these boys out of the girls' sports. But oh no, they are just doubling, tripling down and quadrupling and octupling down on the same shit. It is arrogance. They want to keep beating the American public over the head with this. It's a saying, YouTube. Democrats keep digging their hole deeper. The new face of the Democrat Party is Michigan Rep. Sri Thanadar, who wants to impeach Trump. He can steal the spotlight because with Democrats having no leader, any lunatic will do. 100%. 100%. Sri's shady business dealings show him to be just another Democrat grifter, owned a pharmaceutical lab that ran tests on dogs and monkeys. A whistleblower accused Sri of saying that herbal supplements he tested were spiked with Viagra. I heard that on a news break today and saw it on another couple news reports. That, yeah, they were doing weird stuff with these animals, spiking some of the stuff with Viagra to mess with the results. So what the hell? Sri's company went bankrupt, and over 100 beagles were stranded in the lab, and also a bunch of monkeys, and they just left them there to starve till volunteers ended up rescuing them and getting them out of there. So he's not the greatest guy. He'll just walk away on stuff. But he's got a pair of balls to say, oh, Trump's tariffs. Ew. Paul, you're not doing good? I'm sorry, buddy. What the hell, man? Not to be a bigger dick than I normally am, but man, glad we don't have an NIH here. Amen. Hopefully you get looked at soon. I mean, really. So yeah, this is the guy wanting to impeach Trump. See, I got that turned up as loud as it'll go for you guys. I know sometimes these don't come through well.
Democrats are out of ideas. Congressman Sri Thandadar is impeaching. Yep. And the more we learn about Sri, the weirder it gets. Sri owned a pharmaceutical lab that ran tests on dogs and monkeys. A whistleblower accused Sri of hiding that some of the herbal supplements he tested were spiked with Viagra.
That's just freaky. To frig around with test results. So they were trying to use Viagra, probably due to its vasodilation properties and everything else, to help fake results. That right there is a crime. You could get people hurt or ended. But then he just abandons the animals. I mean, but he's a good guy. But you hear, once again, do you hear the Democrats out telling this guy to stop? Nope.
His company went bankrupt and over 100 beagles were stranded inside a lab. Volunteers rescued them.
We believe that they have never been outside ever.
I don't think that they've actually had their paws on the grass. When I walked in here, it looked like they were walking on eggshells. They were kind of afraid to walk on the grass.
Shree's a strange guy with a shady past. If I were him, I'd be laying low. But there's no leadership in the party, so guys like Sri can steal the spotlight.
Fact.
But Democrats say Republicans are the weirdos. Democrats are out of ideas. Congressman Sri
100%. Jesse Waters is dead on right. They're not going to spend a lot of time on this guy, but to me, it's just showing the Democrats are not, they have nothing. They have zero. They are doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on everything, and I can't say it enough. But yeah, that's just kind of one of the first things I wanted to talk about. And by the way, nobody told me I forgot to bring my camera down. Crap. I miss when I have mods here. Sorry, guys. Let me back this down. So yeah, let me shrink me down even more because I can't see that. There we go. Let's go back to here. This is the guy. Sorry about that, guys. Once again, I'm up way too late. That's the guy right there. This dude. So let's go look at him real quick. All right. Sorry about that. Here, now you can see.
Not kings. That's not just
all right, hang on.
Conduct.
Hey, pause, jackass. All right, turned up. Sorry about that. But now you can see this weasel. Once again, It's not a racial thing, YouTube. I use an animals. You see, monkeys, weasels, whatever. If anything, he's got a weasel on his head, but here you go. Here's Sri Thanadar. Now that you can see him from my screw
In
up.
this country, we have presidents, not kings. That's not just misconduct, it's impeachable misconduct. This isn't
what?
leadership, it's tyranny. If we let this stand, we are saying the president is above the law.
Now, does anybody remember when Joe Biden tried to just will into place a constitutional amendment? He just said, well, this is now constitutional. This is a new constitutional amendment. He tried to will one in, just poof, out of nowhere. That's not the way it works. Where was this guy then? That is tyranny. That is a dictator.
That the United States Constitution is optional. I won't be silent, and I'm calling on all my colleagues, Democrats, Republicans, and Independents.
You're an asshole. You guys broke so many constitutional laws, other federal laws, Bill of Rights, and everything to bring all your illegal aliens in here. So gosh darn pop-ups on my other screen. Get off. Quit. Good grief. Sorry. Ugh. Pop-ups. And I even have pop-up blocker. Ugh. This guy is such a jackass. Standard Democrat shit. We break shitloads of laws. Laws are not for Democrats, pretty much, is what we need to just learn and understand. Laws are not for Democrats. Laws are only for all the rest of us plebs out there. Democrats can break constitutional, Bill of Rights, federal laws, immigration, you name it. They can break the laws of all of our social security systems and give stuff to illegals over our own veterans. But then, God forbid, when it comes to Trump booting somebody out, with the same alacrity, they have a cow. Ow, laws. Bullshit. They go out the way they came in. This guy is an asshole.
To stand up with me. Enough is enough. Donald J. Trump must be impeached. In this
Must
country,
he? Must he? You're a dick. He just is. I'm just tired of these people. I just am. He's goofy. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't care. He's just spouting. Oh, far north dirt tracking. What nuts you making tonight? No, that's Texan. That's the Texan guy. Sorry. I lose track, especially this late. At least I think I got that right. Woof. All right. Now this one here. Michelle Obama. Former First Lady Michelle Obama said President Donald Trump's deportation keeps me up at night. But social media is announcing her hypocrisy. It should. It should. Why? Because Obama has the nickname Deporter-in-Chief for a reason. Her own husband is one of the biggest deporters in the history of this country. Where in the hell was she then with her whining and crying? And I just can't get to sleep at night. It keeps me up at night. Well, yeah? Well, your husband, We didn't hear much about this former Deporter-in-Chief surpassed deportations under Trump's first term. He did. Obama has way surpassed what Trump has deported. Way surpassed. Even though there's actually some evidence showing that he cooked those books, that he didn't deport as many as he said he did, but it was still way more than Trump. And by the way, Obama didn't follow any due process. Between 75 and 83% of the people Obama deported was done without any due process, because illegals don't get the due process of American citizens. If you come in illegally across our borders, you get to go back, and then you apply for asylum back across the border. Look that shit up. It is no due process to give you court dates. It's idiotic, and these judges is why Trump may suspend habeas corpus, because the moron Supreme Court said, illegally, by the way, this is wrongful because the Supreme Court, in doing this ruling, was violating the separation of powers. Even the Supreme Court is supposed to abide by the separation of powers in this country. We have that written in our Constitution, all of our Bill of Rights for a reason. We have separation of powers of our three branches of government. And the Supreme Court violated it with this ruling over illegal, saying illegal aliens must have habeas corpus and each have a hearing. That means in 20 million people that Biden brought in, each are supposed to get a hearing that would take 345 plus years to get them out. That is moronic, and it does not follow when you look at separation of powers and Trump's legal constitutional powers with these people. Illegal aliens do not get that, especially when they are under expedited deportation. That is stupid. But I didn't hear the courts or Democrats or anybody bitching when Obama did it. Only years later, when the Democrats get called out for their hypocrisy on Trump's deportations, do they go, well, yeah, I didn't like it when Obama did it either. That's what they say. Well, I didn't like it when Obama did it. I wasn't for it then. Yeah, but were you bitching? You can go back to Reddit, scan back to Reddit, clear back then. You didn't see them bitching about it. They didn't say jack shit. Nothing. There weren't judges stopping him. Show me a Democrat judge stopping Obama's, without due process deportations. No, because they knew then it was good for them. Their guy was doing it, so woohoo, lost that orange man, right? Brown man good, orange man bad. Also, they knew it was legal. The president, the head of the executive branch, has the ability to deport if he wants, especially people that came in illegally. That is always what we're forgetting here. He's not deporting people who legally came into this country. These are illegal aliens, and I don't give a shit whether they've committed an extra crime coming here or not. I want them all gone. And once again, as I always mention, Tom Homan, get your thumb out of your ass. Go to these hotels in New York, the schools in New York, and all the other sanctuary cities, the veterans, housing, the military bases we're housing these people on, and you got them all in one spot. You get them out and deport their asses. You want self-deportations to kick up? You start showing these people you will grab them. Stop this shit. In my area, how about you go to a neighborhood called the Floreciente neighborhood in Moline, Illinois, when almost everything in there is in Spanish. You kind of can figure it out. Especially in an area that's already cut way back. A lot of people suddenly disappeared in that neighborhood. But in the Quad Cities, everybody knows where every illegal alien neighborhood is. And I know not all of you in Floreciente are illegal, but we also know that is a huge majority. So stop it. Tom Homan needs to get off his ass. I'm happy he's doing some work, but get these people, when they're out in the open right in front of you, get them out. People still want mass deportations. Even CNN polls say, we want mass deportations, not this trickle of shit we got going. Stop kissing Democrats' asses and go, we're just going after the huge criminal ones. No, CNN polls show they want mass deportations. They don't care if they're extra criminals. America wants them out. So Tom, go to get them out of here. But they didn't bitch under Obama. As many Democrats are voicing discontent with President-elect Donald Trump's plans to carry out mass deportations in his second term, that he still hasn't carried out any mass deportations. Some commentators are pointing out, rightfully, by the way, that former President Barack Obama oversaw millions of deportations, even earned the title Deporter-in-Chief. And I remember that. And I remember some Democrats actually spouting that proudly. Go back and look at that shit. So once again, brown man good, orange man bad. Tuesday episode of Faulkner Focus, host Sandra Smith said that although Democrats are promising pushback against Trump's deportation plans, we didn't hear much about this. when former President Obama was dubbed deporter-in-chief, that's because he deported some 5.3 million illegals during his 2 terms. Way more than Trump did. Even though some people are saying he fudged those numbers, there is some evidence to show that it was actually probably closer to maybe 3.5 to 4 million, which is still way more than Trump's gotten rid of. But it's only because it's partisan bullshit. It's power. And I keep saying, Democrats have no real beliefs. Buy a Tesla. It's amazing. If you don't buy a Tesla, you're a bad person. You bought a Tesla, you're an asshole. Barack Obama, it's okay to, I'm going to use their numbers. It's okay to deport 5.3 million with no due process for most of them. 75 to 83%, no due process. Donald Trump, how dare you report 100,000 without due process, even though we brought them in with no due process. And under that law, they're not due any due process, especially under expedited deportation orders. By the way, head executive. Funny how Obama, when he was president, could do the same shit without any pushback or troubles or, oh my God, hand-wringing about the Constitution and constitutional rights and everything. But Trump tries to do the exact same shit. That's right there. That is TDS. And that is proof Democrats have no beliefs except what gives them power in the moment. That's it. From 2009 to 2012, Obama's DHS carried out 3,175,696 returns and removals in his first term alone. Yeah. Trump carried out half that in his first term. Yeah. So where was the hand-wringing? Hell, remember? Obama built the cages he put the families and kids in, but they blamed Trump. Trump put kids in cages. Actually, no, that was Obama. Sorry, let me catch up here with you guys. Yeah, that's the other guy. Sorry, man. Sorry, Far North. Yeah, that's Texan. Job like that, I could use the discount on nuts and bolts. Yeah, tell me about it. That's what I was asking him the other day. He's making like, what is that, about $250,000 a week at his job. And he's just one guy out of how many around the country making nuts? I mean, my God. Whew. Let's see. Oh, I was thinking peanuts, but was thinking about getting a snack. What? Oh, Paul. But yeah, so it's amazing. It's just two-facedness. And we all know that, but it needs to keep being stated. We all need to state every time we see it, and it's not hypocrisy. I've given up on that a long time ago because everything I read, everything I study, everything I look at shows has nothing to do with hypocrisy. We need to not use hypocrisy for Democrats and even many lefties out there. It is all for their power. Whatever gives them power over you and me. They love power. Lefties do. The leftards out there marching and telling you what to do. That is all their power. They feel they are mentally deficient and they are trying to find a way to feel powerful. So Democrats have no beliefs except what gives them power in the moment. It's nothing to do with hypocrisy. So yeah, hypocrisy says you have a belief, but you go against it for hatred or some other issue. They don't have any beliefs. All right. So yeah, that is just, I don't want to stick too long with that, but now we have a little lovely thing here to go along with this, a little tail end of it. Just a tail end. Uh-oh. Tom Homan, by the way, all the left is bitching and whining about Tom Homan right now. Well, we have a problem. Tom Homan was appointed by Barack Obama as Immigrations and Custom Enforcement's Executive Associate Director of Enforcement and Removal Operations in 2013. Uh-oh. Under our Obama administration, Homan began to argue that separating children from their caregivers would be an effective means of discouraging illegal border crossings. Which is when Obama built the cages. Oh no! Oh no! Talk about two-faced bullshit. Nope, once again, not two-faced. It is just whatever gives the Democrats power in the moment. That's it. Yeah. So they used to love Tom Homan under Obama. They love Tom Homan when remember Tom Homan's come out lately and people go, well, what's gonna happen when you're deporting a family and they got kids that are American citizens? They go, That's up to them. They can find somebody here to take care of those kids or put them in foster care, or he can take them home. That's it. He was saying that under Obama, did you hear anybody bitching? Tom Homan is saying nothing different now than he did when he worked for Barack Hussein Obama. And I don't like making fun of Barack's middle name. This felt like adding all 3 names in there. But Barack Obama. Nobody bitched. Where were the Democrats going, oh? No. They gave money. They appropriated money for Obama to build the cages and the facilities to house the kids and to boot people out. So, So yeah, but then it gets even worse. In 2015, Obama awarded Tom Homan a Presidential Rank Award as a distinguished executive. A Washington Post article at the time said Tom Homan deports people and he's really good at it. The horror. So when Tom Homan did this stuff for Obama, he got a fucking award from Barack Obama. But as soon as Tom Homan brings his exact same rhetoric, exact same zeal to get people out of our country illegally to the Trump administration, horrible. Horrible. He's a Nazi. He's bad. He's breaking our Constitution. So, once again, it's all what Democrats feel they can seize for themselves in power. It's all it is. Nothing else. Okay, being this ain't going to be my longest stream because I am dying, I got a guy coming in the morning to polyfill my garage slab, and I got to be up there and moving some stuff at 8 a.m. so him to get to a certain couple spots. Yeah, my garage slab had some issues. The mud jacking I did years ago didn't take real well, and I don't want to insulate my garage up or do any more work to it unless I know that the slab is going to be solid, but they're going to polyfill it this morning. So, woohoo, I hope that everything I've read about polyfilling says it's better than mud jacking. So, let's see how it goes. But yeah, this is just, make sure anybody says anything to you about Tom Homan and about Trump and his deportations, make sure you push back. You tell them, hell yeah, look up how many Obama deported. Look up the cages Obama built. Look up the cages that Obama built with Tom Homan. And a lot of people do not even realize, I've run into Democrats and I tell them this, okay, you realize Tom Homan worked for Barack Obama. Bullshit. He did. And I've already pulled this Wikipedia page up. By the way, I know Wiki isn't always right. I know that. It's suspect. But you can find it everywhere. It's in news articles from the day. It's in our government records. It's crazy. Tom Homan used the exact rhetoric. And you show them this and you go, oh, they're going to shit. And the honest Democrat will go, shit. The ones that aren't just out for power, the ones that just are uninformed sheeple will go, shit. Or at least maybe wake them up. Maybe you can red pill somebody. Or at least dim the blue pill a little bit. How's that? So, far north dirt tracking. Jeez Louise, man. I cannot say that. What are you doing up? I know my Paul's up. He's in a whole different way, 5, 6 different time zones. It's tomorrow actually it's probably late Thursday night for Paul. But yeah, I just think it's funny. He always advocated for the opposed sanctuary city policies. Homan has done nothing and said nothing different. Show any Democrat you know this. In fact, I have a family member. I've just waited until I can get out there to show them this, because they are going to shit themselves. This person is they are so far left. They always pick Barack Obama like a Republican. They're going to shit themselves once I show this to them. I've sent it to an email. They won't open it. So, I'm in the far north of New Zealand. Oh, holy shit. So you are also a New Zealander. Holy crap. 2 New Zealanders. Holy hell. So I have a New Zealand stream going. How you guys doing, man? I see some lurkers there in the background. I haven't even checked Rumble. Even though Rumble, even when I've had upwards of 15, 20 people watching on Rumble, nobody chats except one person chatted a little bit in Rumble. It's weird how Rumble's a weird duck. Like if you watch somebody on Rumble on big channels, 200,000 views, 5,000 thumbs up. It's like people on Rumble like to watch, but they don't like to interact on Rumble. It's a weird thing going on. But yeah, so Tom Homan here done nothing different. Barack Obama did much more than Trump did, was much tougher than Trump has been, and I think Trump needs to step it up, and Tom Homan needs to step it up. But we're going to move on. I'm not trying to do a long stream tonight. We're going to go with my bookmarks, and we're going to look at a few things I ran into. Now, this one here I had to have a giggle at. You don't even have to listen to this nutcase. Representative Mary Scanlon. 11% of my district is foreign-born, some undocumented, but they have families. If she's saying some are undocumented, the way she says that, she's covering her ass. That 11% is what's undocumented / illegal. She tried to put a quick qualifier there to cover her butt. Their entire communities are terrified. Yes, good. I say good. And Kyle Beckers asked a question. Do you care if illegal aliens care? If illegal aliens get deported? Kyle, edit. But I don't care their entire communities are in fear. I want them in fear. I want them terrified so they will self-deport. Like I said, the neighborhood not too far from me. We drove through there weekly going to dog obedience class and doing some other errands. And it was bumper to bumper to bumper on both sides, on both main roads going through that place. Now there's huge gaps. There's a lot of houses in that neighborhood. There's no lights on. So yeah, I want them terrified. I want them to leave. And Tom Homan and Donald Trump need to step it up and terrify them more so they know they're not safe, so they will go home. America has its own problems. As I'm driving over my horribly bad, rough, pot-filled roads, potholed and teared up roads, while my government is trying to tax me more. Because we don't have money because we're paying for these people. But yeah, Mary Scanlon here's a jackass. But let's take a quick listen to her little 11-second blurb.
11% of my district is foreign-born. That is a mix of people who are citizens, green card holders, visa holders, some undocumented, but they have families. And their entire communities are terrified at this point because of the lawless behavior we're seeing from this administration. 11.
Lawless? Bitch, you just admitted. A lot of these people are illegal. Okay, so see, she's upset about Trump's deportations, but not the law. Even in her words, let's say what she's saying is right. Trump's doing it lawlessly. What about them coming in lawlessly? Bitch, you don't give a shit. It's all for Democrat power. So yeah, all right, guys, let me see. All right, let's go here. I'm not going to be on. I know, I keep saying I'm just so tired. But yeah, I've had a long couple days here. Oh my, look at that. Let's get a little bit of, we're going to mix a little bit of fun, and I don't even get me going on Bella Ramsey because this meme is funny though. Bella Ramsey looks like the human equivalent of those pugs that have been inbred so many times that they now have trouble breathing. And funny thing is, I'm not going to pick on her looks so much. I just find her a horrible bad actress. Because this right here is the most happy face I've ever seen out of the girl. When she acts, it's always this angry face, this pissy lefty girl face that I don't know if everybody's telling her to act that way because it's horrible because it makes her look bad. All right, let's take a quickie look at this. What do you call this look? Yeah, that's something there, isn't it? What is that supposed to be? I mean, if I'm running a business, I'm not hiring you to work up front in my business greeting people. You may be a nice person, but I'm sorry, in my business, you're going to be what I consider presentable to deal with the public. I don't want you scaring the public.
I really like my new glasses. I think they're cute. I really like my new.
Okay. That's just goofy. I mean, I always wondered, can you get ink poisoning with you have that much tattoos? Oh my God. And this is the lefty. By the way, first off, let's go look at this person. First off, what do we see? The obligatory nose ring. That is the mark of the devil for a leftist woman. So, yeah. I mean, just geez.
If I ever see a MAGA person in a Mexican restaurant, I will literally start a revolution right there. Because you cannot tell me that you voted for people who, whether they are citizens or not, to get deported out of this country to Mexico, and also voted for tariffs against Mexico, where we get a large majority of our produce, especially avocados, to just, you can't enjoy Mexican restaurants if you voted that way.
That is the worst logic ever. So, according to her, because she likes avocados, we have to let illegal aliens from Mexico come here, live here, and how dare we tariff anything from Mexico? So how we have to let the illegals come here and take money from our country, and we also have to not protect our workers from Mexican labor. I'm not sure how that makes sense. That is probably one of the dumbest fucking things ever. I mean, jeez Louise.
A large majority of our produce.
Sorry, there's something else.
That you voted for people who, whether they are citizens or not, to get deported for tariffs against Mexico. God, if I ever see a MAGA person in a Mexican restaurant, I will literally start a revolution right there against Mexico, where we get a large.
Sorry, I was looking for something. Something struck me, and I just lost my train of thought.
You can't enjoy Mexican restaurants if you voted that way. You cannot go with your little girly pops and get chips and queso and margaritas and be like, this and girl time. Like, no. You don't get to do that. You lost that right.
Yo, Chubby, maybe you shouldn't be there. No, that's not the way it works. And also, our Mexican food is not exactly Mexican. Our Mexican food in America is about as Indian as the Indian food is in the UK. You know? It's the fast food version thereof. But yeah, so she is the arbitrator of voting. Got it. I would love to be wearing one of my hats. This one or the 2021 behind me. I'd love to be wearing one. He's to run into some jackass like this somewhere when I'm over at Taco Bell or something. Just the sheer arrogance that if you didn't vote the way I did, I should control your life now.
To do that. You do not get to enjoy Mexican food, Mexican culture, anything related to Mexico if you voted for Donald Trump. If you voted for Donald Trump, you do not get to enjoy an all-inclusive resort in Tulum or, I don't know.
Why? We're bringing money into the Mexican economy. This is, once again, not hypocrisy, but for her, it is sheer stupidity. This is the smooth brain lefty. Since we have tariffs on them, we don't allow their illegals to come here. I can't go there on vacation and give money to their economy. You dumb cow. Do you realize if Americans stopped vacationing on these resorts, Mexico's economy would take a bigger hit than these tariffs would ever impose? You ever think of that, stupid? And by the way, these tariffs have already brought jobs back to America from Mexico. Some auto factories are closing up in Mexico and coming back here. That's the point of them. But now she's saying, you know what? Let's further hurt Mexico. First, she's worried about Mexico. Then she's telling us we can't go and spend our dollars in Mexico. Fine, your terms are acceptable, stupid. We will not go to Mexico. We will tell all the Mexican resorts, F you. All the spring breakers will say, screw you to Mexico. Let's see how their economy does. Since they're already about to lose a lot of remittances, a lot of illegal aliens here send money back to Mexico, which is a net loss again for our economy as our dollars leave to go to another country. So she is just so stupid when it comes to economics and what she says she purports to. I want to protect the Mexicans. Don't spend your money there. Jeez Louise. Well, I like avocados, so we should not be doing anything. Dummy. Put down the fork. I don't think you need to eat any more avocados. They got a lot of fat in them.
Cancun or anywhere else in Mexico.
Okay.
You do not get to do that. You should not be allowed to do that. I think Mexico should be able to pull and see how did you vote. And if you voted for Donald Trump, you are not allowed in their country because you do not get to benefit off of Mexican culture and Mexican experiences, including Mexican travel and vacations.
Your terms
when
are
you
acceptable.
Voted for Donald Trump.
I'm still not saying down.
You don't. You can't vote against people and a culture that you want to take advantage of because you're a rich white person. No.
Ooh, and she's a racist. Let me tell you there, Chubby McChubbo Butt. Guess what? A lot of less white people voted for Trump, too. There's a lot of Hispanics that voted for Trump. In fact, the majority of Hispanics voted for Trump. Dumb. So you are not only standing on eggshells, you done mushed them things. What the hell are you even? She has no clue. Not a clue what she's talking about.
That's not how it works.
Yes, it is how it works. In fact, I would love to send this message from her right to Mexico. I'd love if Donald Trump come out and played this video on a press conference and then said, your terms are acceptable. Fine. We are going to kick out the illegals. We are going to tariff them to bring our jobs back here. And then you're right. Ma'am, since we don't appreciate them enough, we will not spend our tax dollars in their country. There will be no spring breakers, no anybody going down and vacationing in Cancun and all their other resorts. Fine. And then you tell the president of Mexico and everybody in Mexico, she's the one that said to, I'm going to do what she says. She's the one who gave me this policy idea. There you go. And then let her have fun. We're not purporting violence. Just, hey, it's time to start putting these Democrats, putting the hot seat back on them for their rhetoric. It is stupid. All right. Moving along to the next dim bulb. Yes, it is late night dim bulb time, folks. That's what I'm going to stick with for a little bit. Explaining to my Republican grandfather, who I want no contact with, why I cannot have a relationship with him without enabling fascism. Okay. I have family that is far right. I have family that is far left. And they are still my family, and I still talk to them, hang out with them, go to dinner, and do things for them and with them. Okay, this is the lefty brain right here. Even though I will admit some of my lefty family members do have more problems with me than I have with them. Because I can separate my politics and not discuss it. I have told many of them, stop bringing up politics if you don't want to argue and scream. But they can't not do that. And I've had some issues where I'm like, I didn't bring it up, you keep doing it. I've had some scream about one of my hats. I'm like, but your hat. So I didn't say anything to you. I didn't say anything about your Kamala Harris bumper sticker either. Lefties can't just separate anything. They can't let it go.
Well, where are you going to put this on?
Just TikTok.
TikTok.
I don't want you to think that this is a debate in any type of way. Like, I just want to ask you questions and I want you to answer them. Okay, so name?
So the lefty sets the terms. This bitch is going to pick on her grandfather. And she's like, I don't want no debate. You don't get to debate me. You don't get to give me facts. You don't get to give me anything, but you just give me an answer to whatever I ask you. And it better be an answer I like. My rules, Grandpa.
Yeah, and age.
82.
What party have you historically voted for in your life?
Republican.
Do you know what I would label myself politically?
Well, I would tend to think that you're neither.
Idiot.
Neither one is doing the right thing.
Did you vote this year, 2024?
Yeah.
Before I went fully no contact a year ago, he told me he wouldn't vote anymore. So now I don't trust anything he's saying. What type of TWAT are you to demand your grandfather not vote anymore? Imagine the screeching and screaming if a Republican made a video saying they demanded their Democrat grandparent not vote anymore, but they did. Now they don't trust them. This is the sheer stupidity, and once again, proving my point. Democrats believe in nothing but what gives them power. She wanted power over even her family members to do what she says. She cajoled her grandfather into saying he wouldn't vote anymore. How dare she? And now here she is shitting all over him live and getting this poor guy involved and outed on TikTok like this. What a piece of shit.
Who did you vote for?
Trump.
So, now going back to that, because I had a feeling that was going to be the answer. Why do you think you can vote away my basic human rights and expect a relationship with me?
I say fuck off. Doing this to this poor old guy, I wish he would just stand up and say fuck off. Get out. I'm betting this isn't her house. Get out. Go away. What makes you feel I want any contact with you, you little biatch?
Well, I don't think the Democrats have the answers.
Instead of answering my question, he goes on a racist, white-winged rant. All he said was the Democrats, so far all he said was the Democrats don't have the answers.
The biggest problem that I see with the Democrats, they throw money at things to solve the problem, and they really don't want to solve the problem. The black problem, Ronald Reagan, I think.
So, I'm trying not to interject, but can we maybe...
She's editing this, by the way. That's jumping. You watch. She's editing. To make him look racist. And even what was said there was not racist.
Simplify it to that the way you vote is because you just don't agree with the Democratic Party, so you're voting against the Democratic Party. Can we simplify it to that? Okay. Can you see, after all of these questions and having this talk with me, if I continue to have a relationship with you without absolutely any change in your behavior, how I would be enabling fascism?
Says the person acting like a fascist. This is the left. Do what I say or else. That is fascism. It's not the poor old guy who voted the way he wanted, who has not yet told her not to vote the way she wanted, who hasn't said shit about the way she voted. She is mad because the way he voted, how dare he even vote? Remember, she doesn't even want him voting at all. How dare he vote? How dare he not agree with her? And because he doesn't agree with her, I will cut contact with you. How dare you be in my presence and you didn't vote the way I wanted? That is fascism. This little bizatch is fascist. And she's being mentally abusive to her grandfather. I'm enabling fascism. You are fascist.
Let me turn that around to you.
I've been trying to go no contact for years over his political views. Then go away, bitch. She's so fascist, she's going to keep forcing her will on him. That is fascism. He won't stop showing up to our house unannounced and blowing up my phone trying to have a relationship. Oh, that bastard. How dare the man not think that just because you have political differences that he just blows off his granddaughter. Oh my God. And by the way, you arrogant tizatch, do you live in your own home? If this is your parents' home, double fuck you. But also fuck you in the first place for not wanting a relationship with your grandfather because you vote different. What an absolute leftist piece of crap.
I've been honest to what I believe.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel if I said, well, if you can't change the way you believe to match my needs, how can I respect you?
Exactly.
Shouldn't we both look at ourselves and change what we can?
Yes.
Okay. So now I have asked you all of the questions that I have. I have a summary here.
That what he just said made sense. Why can't we just be family? Why can't we believe what we each want? Why can't we agree to maybe change some few things about each other? No, he makes sense. Oh no, you can't have sense. The fascist is going to push back again.
Me, I answer, so I am going to ask you.
You notice how she edits out any area she said, I answered? She doesn't show anything she's answered. She edits. She's editing it all out to make her, trying to make herself look better, but it's not doing it.
Because I tried really hard not to interrupt you unless...
She's interrupted him. Even with her editing, she's interrupted him.
I needed to clarify something or anything like that. Now that I've asked my questions and I've allowed you to speak, it's my turn to speak and read my summary, and I ask you to not interrupt. The series of questions was created to underline the interconnectedness of our personal and political lives.
By the way, how many times did we see him interrupt her? None. Even with her editing. All he did was answer her questions. He responded. She says untruthful shit. This is demented.
That's what I was trying to do. We cannot put politics to the side. The American empire was built off black and indigenous slavery and genocide.
Oh boy.
It doesn't matter, red or blue. Our two-party system is built off the exploitation of the people. The ratchet will continue. Both Democrats and Republicans this election season ran off a campaign that was anti-immigration, pro-genocide, pro-gun, pro-fracking, and anti-trans. Those were the campaigns that both parties ran off in 2024.
Well, that's stupid because Kamala was running on pro-trans so much she was willing to give sex change operations to illegal aliens in jail. That doesn't sound anti-trans. She was very anti-Israel until it hit her in the dang polls. So I don't know about your genocide crap. Everything she's saying is absolutely untrue about about either party, really. I've never seen anybody support, any of this crap. She's been in the oven too long. Yeah, no kidding. And the funny thing is, they will sit there and say they're anti-fascist when everything she's doing right now, cajoling and mentally berating an old man, her grandfather, and trying to exert power over him. I actually cannot believe they don't know they're fascist. I don't think they care. I think they know they're fascist anymore, and they just are doing it because they want the power over everybody. Either this man agrees with her or else.
Our system is not here to save us. It is here to exploit us. Capitalism is a cycle of exploitation.
Cool. Then get rid of all your shit you got from capitalism. It's amazing how they hate capitalism, but love all the trappings of capitalism. Her clothing. She's wearing a nice pendant that she got from capitalism. Looks like she's using an Apple computer here, a touchscreen tablet that she got from capitalism. They hate capitalism so much, then stop living on it.
You are either getting exploited or you are exploiting others. If I allow somebody in my life that supports these ideologies, I just enable them. I spent years educating you. If you truly unconditionally loved me, your politics would reflect that.
Really? You don't love me if your politics don't align with mine. Holy shit. That is Democrats in a nutshell. Because look what happens when even a big Democrat disagrees on anything. They excommunicate them. They attack them. Automatically. They attack them. Kick them out. No more are you one of us because you disagreed with us on something. You have to agree with us on everything. But they call Trump supporters a cult. She is going, because you don't agree with me. If you loved me, you would agree with me. Wow. Wow.
You have spent the majority of your life voting my rights away. That is not unconditional.
Really? He's 82. You still have rights. You are sitting here on the internet berating your 82-year-old grandfather, exerting power over him, mentally abusing him. What rights do you seem to have lost? You ordered him not to vote anymore. What rights do you seem to have lost? It seems to me you could use a few less rights the way you're acting.
I will always be the child in this situation, and you will always be the adult, with many years on me. Allowing a relationship with you would allow you to believe that there are no consequences for the way that you vote. Again, this is not a debate. These are my boundaries.
The phrase "get fucked" would come to my mind. I don't care how old I get. Somebody tries this shit with me, get fucked. What a piece of shit. This is not a debate. You agree with me or else. Was this girl ever spanked, grounded, ever? She got a trophy just for showing up. She was told where it's hurt. This right here is exactly what the stupid school system is built. Agree with me or else. Wow.
Under Biden and in states governed by walls, you saw the system deem me disposable. I wasn't allowed any cash assistance. I wasn't allowed disability.
Oh, we didn't give you cash. We didn't give you cash. You want disability for what? I'm betting it's emotional problems. I'm emotional. I have an emotional problem. So that's what she wanted money for.
They didn't care about any of my mental or physical 15-plus diagnosed disabilities.
Oh, yeah? So I'm going to say, you see that? 15 plus.
In this situation, and you will always be the adult, with many years on me. Allowing a relationship with you would allow you to believe that there are no consequences for the way that you vote. Again, this is not
went too
a debate.
far.
These are my boundaries. Under Biden and in states governed by walls, you saw the system deem me disposable. I wasn't allowed any cash assistance. I wasn't allowed disability. They didn't care about any of my mental or physical 15-plus.
15 diagnosed disabilities. As somebody with about 33% of my lungs left functioning and damaged joints and tendons from the meds I take to keep me alive and digesting my food, on the behalf of all of us that have real health problems, fuck you. 15 diagnosed disabilities, and I'm going to say 15 of them are all bullshit. Or I'll give her one. I'll say 14 are bullshit. The way she's treating her grandfather, I don't really want to bet she's on SSRI. She's on mental drugs now, then mental drugs to deal with those problems. Oh, jeez.
Disabilities. After that, I was forced to rely on mutual aid, which is an anti-capitalist ideology. Mutual aid.
But I thought you hated capitalism. If she hated capitalism so much, she should be happy. This is not on capitalism. By the way, look, she's got the crazy lefty eyes. And besides, she's still wearing a mask.
Mutual aid I survived off of. Now I watch the ratchet continue as immigrants and even legal American citizens are deported, kept in concentration camps, and are dehumanized. I see it every day on my phone, and it hasn't stopped. And it never started under the Trump administration.
A phone she got through capitalism.
No amount of American propaganda could brainwash me into supporting either of its systems. I cannot unsee everything I've seen. I've seen American Israeli bombs mutilate Palestinian children. I've watched corporations like Apple kill the Congolese for resources. Of course, this country is run by fascists and upheld by fascists. We the people have been bystanding and enabling for hundreds of years. Democrats think they can marry Republicans and vote Democratic as their one revolutionary act, but it's not revolutionary. It's enabling fascism. We have fascism in this country because we allow fascism in our homes. We allow it in our...
Keep in mind, she is still doing this to her grandfather. He was not allowed to say jack shit through this whole thing. Even with her editing, it was obviously in her favor. She still showed no place. He was interrupting her, proselytizing to her. She's like, this is not a debate. These are my boundaries. This is my fascist little manifesto. She's still berating her poor grandfather.
Not only the people we allow to take political power, but the people in our own lives. Your politics have real world consequences. Your inability to see my point of view, to change, your change is...
No, he can't get his head that far up his ass.
I shouldn't have had to educate you on why saying the N-word is racist or how blaming black people for slavery is racist. I shouldn't have had to explain why I should have been gifted a diverse collection of dolls my entire life. I shouldn't have had to point out how you saying you failed me growing up is not changed behavior. How are you helping or protecting my younger sibling from the same abuse growing up? Are you educating her? Are you doing anything differently that you did with me? Or are you just doing like what you did with me and you're trying to buy her way through life?
Jesus. Just when I think maybe I've reached the bottom of the barrel of the most disgusting and mentally ill lefties ever, then you run into somebody that digs, you find a new layer of strata down below of depravity and pure evil. This is a evil person. She is exerting power over her grandfather. She is a very mean person. Remember, she said he's not allowed to say anything.
To avoid doing any of the real personal work, you cannot go to church and ask God for forgiveness. I'm the real person you negatively affected, and I don't forgive you.
Woo! Holy shit. That's... Unhinged is not strong enough.
Until you are really ready to hear me when I say that my politics and my political life are completely intertwined. You can't vote away my basic human rights and expect a relationship.
I would love her to tell me what basic human rights she's lost. If he's 82 and he's been voting her basic human rights away his whole life, then I want her to tell me what rights she doesn't have. Once again, she's on some fancy equipment, dressed really nice, some jewelries. She talks about using her phone all the time. She's berating this poor man on the internet, so I want to know what rights she doesn't seem to have. If she was lost her rights, she wouldn't be on here. She sure wouldn't be berating her grandfather.
You just can't, Grandpa. I shouldn't have to sit here and list off all of the awful things Trump has done since he got in office. I shouldn't have to. It's my basic human rights that should horrify you at its core. You should care about me and how I feel in our relationship more than you should care about the fucking economy. Because again, you know it's a made-up system that we made up, and it doesn't need to be here. We don't need to exploit people. The 1% doesn't need to keep making more money. Well, I have none. That's not how...
Oh, yeah? You have none? Why do you have a tablet or computer, jewelry, clothes, and access to the internet? You seem to have stuff. So it sounds like you're just mad that we don't give you more, because it sounds like you are making nothing and contributing nothing. You are angry we won't support you at some level you feel you should be supported at. What a fucking lunatic.
How this works, Grandpa. It's just not. Not when everything we could ever need in the entire world is free from the fucking ground.
Really? And what did I just get done saying? It's free from the ground. And bitch, why aren't you out there? Why aren't you eating grass? Why aren't you out there hunting your own animals? Why are you wearing synthetic clothing? This mask of yours isn't from the ground. This computer isn't from the ground. Your internet access, your modems, everything is not from the ground. She spouts stupid bullshit.
Well, the 1% is putting prices on shit that is free from the fucking ground. I don't get it. I don't understand your support of the system.
No, because you're stupid. I can't stop interrupting her. She's stupid. This is pure stupidity. And we put prices up from the ground. As she's on the internet, supported by huge amounts of technology and energy, with her little laptop or tablet, her synthetic clothing, and her jewelries. Jesus.
I don't understand how you cannot see
that
your support of the system affects our relationship. My county has already called me and told me that my EBT and my health care under Trump are now, being attacked. And I have to fight for my fucking rights. Doesn't matter, Grandpa.
Your county called and said Trump is attacking your EBT and your health care. Bullshit. Now she's out and out lying to grandfather. She knows that's bullshit. The county didn't call her and go, Trump is going to take away your stuff. Jesus. Not only is she evil, manipulative, and a fascist, but she's a fucking liar.
We are drowning as a society. Fucking drowning. And we don't
drowning.
We think we can just go vote, and that's revolutionary, and it's not. What's revolutionary is how you show up for people. You are a villager.
The grandfather who won't cut this lunatic off is showing up. She's a fucking loon. She's treating him like shit, because you know this isn't the first time. She's sitting him in front of the computer, berating him, not letting him get words in, and she's got to sit there for minutes at a time, shitting on this man, but he shows up. Wow. Well, yeah, he's the one that doesn't care.
So I don't understand why you're not getting this. Like, you know what it is to be a community member. You know what it is.
Yeah, but you don't.
Like, you understand. We've had...
Rewatching this, I don't believe he can do better. I'm just trying to convince him he can. He proved to me at the core he's a mansplaining discriminatory supremacist. She shows nothing to back this up. She says this shit all the time. She says, stop interrupting me. Even with her own editing, there's no interrupting from this man. This is the leftist mental damage. These are the little foot soldiers the Democrat Party has made the last decade or so.
Talks. I know you get it. You have to change. I don't care how old you are.
The fuck I do.
I seriously don't care. You could be 100 years old and I'd still sit down and have this conversation with you.
It's not a conversation. This is not a conversation. This is a berating. This is an attack. This is a seizing power over somebody. You are exerting your will over them. You are saying, unless you love me, if you love me, you would vote my way and believe everything I say. Hey, bitch, you ever think your little 20-something ass maybe not have as much wisdom or knowledge as he does? Oh, no. She knows better. And if he doesn't go her way, she don't love him.
Because I care. If I didn't give a fuck about you, I should have just blocked your number and never talked to you again, honestly. Just like I did Mom.
Oh, there it is. Right there. There it is. There it is.
Seriously, don't care. You could be 100 years old and I'd still sit down and have this conversation.
Oops, too far.
Like, I am asking you to do better and show that you actually unconditionally love me like you say you do. Because the way you vote doesn't. I know this is a hard pill for you to swallow. I know it is.
She blocked her mom.
This is the reality that we live in.
She blocked her mother. This is she blocked her mother and her grandfather still showing up. But she thinks she's the loving, compassionate one. She thinks she's the sane one. She thinks she's the not evil person. She thinks they are evil? Holy shit.
I am asking you to unwire years of propaganda that has been taught to you.
He's tried. He's talking to you. He's trying to unwire your propaganda. Yeah.
I know that's not easy. But if you loved me, you would. You
Woo!
would hear me.
That
You
threat
would really
again.
hear me. When I say, even Palestine and Israel, as simple as that, you would understand what I'm
There's
saying.
no such thing as Palestine.
Because when it comes to Palestine and Israel, you can't support Israel and support Palestine in the same breath. Because Israel is being given resources by us, our American tax dollars, that Palestine's not being given.
Uh-oh. Hey, guess what, you psycho? We give our tax dollars to the Gazan people, too. We give a shitload of aid to Gaza. Not Palestinians. They're a non-existent thing made up by the Romans. They weren't even a people. It was an area of the world that had no name, a people that had no name, a bunch of wandering tribes of nomads wandering around. They said, what are we going to call this area? Nobody has a name. Well, let's call it Palestine. We do give money to both sides, bizatch. We don't just give money to Israel, which is stupid because we're giving money to both sides of another war.
Israel has an iron dome. Do you know what that is? Protects you from any bombs. So any bomb Palestine's sending to Israel, it's not hitting Israel.
Not any bomb. They still get through.
An iron dome that's being funded by us. It's not a fair fight. It's not a fair fight at all.
Well, maybe Hamas and the Gazan people shouldn't keep attacking them. There would be a good plan. Maybe not fight. Just saying, stop fighting.
The best militaries in the entire world. And because of their religion, they're colonizing and they're ethnically cleansing people. And I see it every day. I mutilize children, Grandpa. That should mean something to you. That should horrify you.
Okay, I'm about to lose it and break down in white tears, trying to get him to have some type of empathy for what I'm saying. No, you are emotionally blackmailing him to try to get him to just give in to you. You fascist, evil, mentally ill T-Wat. Wow. What I'm saying, again, looking back, I was probably trying to convince him he can do better. Feel free to skip. What? What a lunatic.
No matter who's in charge, it doesn't matter. Biden, it doesn't matter. That children are getting fucking bombed. Like, that should horrify you at its core, and that should be enough for you to be an anti-capitalist, in my opinion. It really...
Says once again the person with all the trappings of capitalism around her.
Like, it really should. That's what did it for me. And it did it to me as a kid. When Mom looked me in the eyes and told me that she would give up her parental rights to go kill Arabs. Because she views Arabs as terrorists, not as human beings. And that is how she views them. And again...
I don't think your mom said that. You're a lunatic.
And that's why I can't talk to Mom. Because she can't look in the mirror and realize the shit she's doing is wrong, but I think you can. I really do. I think you're capable of doing better no matter how old you are. And I don't think it's fair that I'm alone because you all believe in these things, these hateful ideologies.
You're alone. She just admitted she's alone. She's alone because she's a lunatic. Nobody can be around her. She excommunicates everybody. She winds up being alone when she's cutting off her family and doing this shit, even to her grandfather. Oh, I'm alone. You gotta go with what I believe and do what I say, or I'll cut you off and bitch that I'm alone. Psychotic. Actually, she's a sociopath psychotic. Is it fair? Sorry, guys. I know that was long, but what the absolute shit. Go find this. Share it. This needs to be out there. I'm going to make sure I repost this. Yeah, that everybody needs to share it. You can find that on Lyons Den WS6 if you'd like to share it out.
I think that this is a debate in any type of way. Like, I just
or you can just go right to Clown World right here. What a lunatic. Her grandfather putting up with this. He is trying. All right, let's move on. Let's get some happy stuff done and get the heck off here. Sorry, guys. I know this is not my best stream. I'm just kind of tired. But look at this.
Trans girl, small and cute. These are my pigtails, yes, they're real. When I get all steamed up, I can pout. That tip me over part sounds kind of inappropriate though. So I'm going to stop the song there and keep it kid friendly. I'm a little trans girl, small.
You're worried about that? Being tipped over, not being the kid friendly part? Yeah. You ever seen the video game Twisted Metal? Yeah. All right, we're almost done here, guys. I'm just moving on to a few. I want the happy stuff. I enjoy some of these psychos. I know I might be over the top of this. I'm apologize, but this one.
Ma'am, be safe. You're the last one on the plane. I need you to get up and get off the darn plane. What are we doing here?
What are we doing here? I'm waiting for my first class seat. There were 5 seats available. There's no reason why I can't have one.
Right, and now the whole plane is empty because you threw a tantrum about a seat that you didn't pay for. You don't just get to upgrade yourself.
I asked. I said please.
Man, you're being unreasonable.
I'm not being unreasonable. There's 5 seats. empty.
Right, and now there's 35 seats in your section alone because we had to evacuate the damn plane. You're going to get off this plane one way or the other. Let's not make this a physical thing.
No, it's not a physical thing. I'm saying I can now sit in any of these seats. So I can go sit in that seat and that seat.
Ma'am.
This is once again leftists. They think they are they don't think everybody else the fascists and communists when everything they do is communist and fascist. Look at this loon. She just deserves because she asked and ordered. Mommy and daddy should both be spanked also, or they should face every charge she's about to get. Mom and dad should get it. Yes, I know people hate when you say, oh, you can't hold a parent responsible. Yes, you can. They raised this little brat. She is a pure brat. They raised this. There was never a no said to her. She never went to bed without dinner. She never got spanked. She never got her internet taken away. She was never told no or shut up. That is the problem. Hey, Connie, how you doing, hon? So, yeah. What the hell?
Don't touch me!
Ma'am.
No!
Ma'am.
You don't get to touch me.
Ma'am,
You do not touch me.
I don't want you to sit down, but back off. We're not doing it.
You back off.
Am I going to have to...
You back off.
Am I going to have to arrest...
You
ma'am?
touched me first and I didn't do anything. I'm defending myself.
Who are you yelling to? You got the whole plane empty. What are you...
I don't know. Someone here has to be a real cop 'cause it's not you.
Okay, so you're going to keep escalating this to who? Nobody.
I'm escalating this. You grabbed me,
Because, ma'am, if you're not going to get off this plane, I have to escort you off the plane. I didn't want to make it about that, but you want to...
I'm not getting off this plane. I'm going to take my seat in the first class like I wanted the whole time, and then we're going to go.
The funny thing is, she doesn't realize, a lot of these lefties don't realize, you aren't breaking little laws. When you fuck around on an airplane, you're going to find out, all right? You're going to find out you're getting federal charges. This is under FAA jurisdiction. You get federal charged. I've seen so many of these people later that cry and whine, oh my God, I didn't know. Yeah, well, you maybe shouldn't have been stupid.
And we're going to get on. Do not touch me!
Ma'am, I'm going to...
Do not touch me!
Ma'am, slowly.
Do not touch me!
Ma'am, please calm down.
You cannot touch me.
Ma'am, calm down.
You calm down, Mr. Grabby Hands. You calm down.
I had an opportunity to try to get you to calm down.
Faces, these lefties.
I was calm. And
you can see by their faces, they've never been told no. They have been around people who just let them act up, they gave them their way all the time because they didn't want them to throw tantrums. They never were told no and had it stick.
You grabbed me.
Ma'am,
unconsensually.
are we going to have... Ma'am, slowly, don't you... I don't know. Ma'am, do you have any weapons on your person?
I don't have it. You know, my nails are my weapons. You grab me again. I'm going to scratch you. I'm going to scratch you.
Oh, there's a good plan.
No, no, I'm going to scratch you. Don't you...
Ma'am.
Ma'am. You can't put
Ma'am. 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 All right. We got... Ma'am, let go. Ma'am.
Wow. Nutcase. Nutcase. Okay, let's see here. Did I have a couple other... Sorry, guys. I am pretty tired, so I know I'm losing a little bit of focus here. I apologize. Oh, this is the last thing I want to show you. This is a stupid question, though. It says, who is wrong in this case? This doesn't look like America by the type of trucks. But if the law is there or anywhere near what ours are, it's definitely the truck. As far as I know, most places, bicycles are treated as a vehicle. Boom! That is horrendous. Holy shit. But yeah. It's kind of a little thing to kind of close up on. What we do always before we leave. We go to home and we refresh. See if there's anything we missed we need to talk about real quick. 100 days in the presidency. His office in one. Oh boy, ABC News. Yeah. Yeah. No. You come to America. Fuck off. You follow our way of life. You don't get to bring yours here, or you can just stay where you're at. I've seen these before. Some of these are kind of old, but they've been around. Please encourage your Muslim neighbors. Many Muslims live in this area, and dogs are considered filthy in Islam. Please keep your dogs on a leash and away from the Muslims who live in the community. No. No. My dog's an American. Fuck off. Don't care. No. Stupid. That's an oldie. I've shared that. Plus, now here we go again. Now we have to redesign planes because they just want to have fat pride. Plus-size woman says she can't go to the bathroom on planes because the aisles are too narrow. I'm not sure the aisles are the only thing that ain't going to work out for you. I've seen airplane bathroom doors and airplane bathrooms. I don't think it's going to happen. All right. Here we go. This is going to be a quick one, and we'll close up here real soon. What did Democrats do the first 100 days of Trump's administration? I added a few words. They cried, they whined, they screamed, they yelled, they protested, they judge shopped, visited illegal wife beater, yes. Domestic terrorism, yes. SWAT conservatives, yes. Sit in on steps, more crying, yes. Filibusters, yes. Key and blow up Teslas, which also falls under the domestic terrorism. More screaming, more whining, more crying. Democrats do absolutely zero for the American people ever. I'm not saying not ever, but it's rare. How's that? All right, guys. Like I said, this stream, I almost didn't want to do one because I was just so tired. I got to be up in like 2 hours. Oh, this is going to be harsh. Harsh, guys. But somehow I just wanted to spout a few things and talk. And say howdy. But yeah, so, well, Bunny, she better not go to the bathroom on a train. Yeah, that's even tougher. And especially when you got the motion of the train. Oof. You get that jello going side to side. Woo. Gonna be a derail. Oh man. But yeah, I'm gonna close up just talking a little bit about Trump's first 100 days. I personally, my opinion, I think Trump has done a pretty good job. I do think, unfortunately, he's become a little unfocused lately. I think he's kowtowing a little too much to the Democrats who are doing shit to purposely derail or stop him. And he's doing what he did in his first term a little too much. He's kowtowing and trying to he's letting them dictate to him how he does stuff, and they're saying to him that he's breaking laws, breaking the Constitution like they did before, when he's not. He needs to tell these judges who make illegal orders. He is, once again, just like with deportations. If they bring in people without due process, we can boot them without due process. When the judges make illegal laws, Trump needs to learn that he is not obligated to follow illegal laws. So Trump needs to grow a little more of a pair. Sorry, guys, but he does. I love the man. I think he's the best president of my lifetime, but he's been letting them dictate too much. Illegal rulings need to be ignored. Get your press corps out there. Get your people out there and start showing why these orders are illegal. Show statute. Show constitutional, the constitutional law. Show Bill of Rights. Show what our forefathers wrote. Show how they're ruling illegally. Stop following illegal laws. Start deporting better. Your deportation numbers, are low. But I still think Trump, on average, has done an amazing job. As for the economy, I am tired of Democrats going, the prices are going up. You didn't give a shit about prices for 4 years. Screw you. And by the way, I was at the grocery store today. Guess what I got eggs for? When they were almost $7 a dozen at Aldi in my area. I was at a Jewel grocery store, which is not the cheapy brand. And they had eggs there for $4. And yes, I got $3 eggs. That is huge. That is about a 40 to 50% drop in the price of eggs. By the way, the gasoline has gone down. A lot of other products have gone down. Will we see some rises coming up in a month or two on some products that come from China? Yes. But everybody who voted for Trump knows that. They are just hoping to find the center people, the dummies. Yes, there are some dummies among us who don't understand. They're hoping to peel some of them off to try to, and also they're trying to amp people up against Trump and cause violence in this country. They are still pushing for violence. They are pushing this fascist, unconstitutional, violent. They're still trying to say right-leaning people are the violent ones as they're out there doing riots and attacks. Trump's first 100 days have been amazing. Should they have been a little better? Yes, in my opinion. He's still trying to play the nice guy. So I really hope they step it up a little. I am excited about his next 100 days. Actually, about his next 100 to 200 days. And to be honest, I'm more excited to see how we are at the end of the first year. Yes, we may see some troubles, but I've looked at my life. Yes, there is some stuff I buy on Amazon or everywhere else that's made in China. But my life, I look around and I'm not going to be hurt. Actually hurt. There's nothing that comes from China that I won't physically be able to do without. I knew what I voted for. I believe most Trump supporters did. There are some that did not. Because they're not up on this stuff. And they are going to be surprised about some of these prices when they go to buy something from Amazon or something. Or they're at their local store or whatever, or the hardware store. There's going to be some things go up. But there's also other stuff going down. Including, by the way, I saw a Democrat lie about automotive prices are going up. So far, actually, car prices have gone down. Will they go up a little bit because of tariffs? Maybe. But we're bringing a lot of manufacturing back here. So we're going to have a little pain, just like I always say. When you go to remodel your kitchen, first you do the tear down. It's a mess. It's a mess. But when you're done, oh, it's gorgeous. But you got to have the mess and the tear down first. So I really do think he's got on some important stuff. He's done some amazing stuff. I think we need to start reminding everybody how much he's cut the border down. From thousands and thousands a day to 800, 900. All right, sorry. Yeah, it was thousands a day to 900 in a month now. That is a crazy drop. I believe it's right around 98%. That is crazy. We need to keep reminding everybody of that. And when anybody starts whining about these people having due process, you remind them they came in with no due process. Why do we owe due process to people brought in by Democrats without due process? Why did they not have to follow due process? The laws have to go both ways or none. You can't let them usurp laws and then we are supposed to follow them. That is what they're pushing for, and they're hoping. A lot of people are so dumb they fall for this due process. Illegals are not due process, and if they are brought in illegally, they leave. You don't get to claim asylum here. By the way, that is law. You don't get to come in illegally, then go claim asylum. No, the law says you actually have to be deported or leave yourself, go across the border, and then apply. And it actually says if we catch you here, you don't get to claim the asylum. That's it. Once you're caught, that's it. You're done. So, yeah. I don't like to do it, but I will say it again. I think Trump is being too nice. He's trying to be liked too much. He's trying not to push too hard. Problem is, he needs to push hard. He has a limited amount of time. He needs to push very hard right now. Him, Tom Homan, his whole cabinet, Pam Bondi needs to stop talking on the news and get the fuck out there. Hey, by the way, lefties, if you're hearing me talk right now, do I sound like I'm in a cult? No. I am talking about the things Trump has done good and wrong. Pam Bondi needs to shut the fuck up on TV and do something. Where's the Epstein files? I ain't seen it. I don't think we're ever going to see anything of substance out of it. Kash Patel, what's he doing? He swore he's going to go in, I'm going to shut down the FBI first day or something, all this crap he said. I don't see a lot. Yes, they may be doing stuff behind the scenes. Get stuff done. Dan Bongino, we have a lot of hope for you. We need to see big things, honestly. Pam Bondi, we need to see something big. Kash Patel, we need to see some big stuff going on. Jan Bongino, we need to see some big stuff. We really have to. We have limited time, and you guys really push this big shit happening stuff. You need to do it. Them not doing big stuff is hurting Trump. Tom Homan not being more forceful in his deportations is hurting Trump. Pam Bondi yapping and not seeming to do much is hurting Trump. So Trump needs to rein these people in and have a chat. He needs to. I don't want him to fall into the same trap he did first time where some of the people under him betrayed him and he was too soft with them. But that all said, the first 100 days of his administration has been amazing. We've seen more done than any president in my lifetime has done in the same amount of time. He's kept more campaign promises than any president in my lifetime. Do I have hope he will pick it back up and focus a little more? Yes. He has seemed a little more unfocused. I do believe maybe, once again, outside guy, maybe some of his focus has been taken up by the negotiations on the tariffs. And that's what I'm hoping. So let me know what you think. Do you think the tariff thing is what's holding him back because he's trying to deal with a lot of countries at once? Or do you think I think it's a mix of that and he's still trying to be too nice. He is letting them to break laws, then dictate to him that he has to follow bullshit laws or laws that don't exist. These district judges the Supreme Court already told these district judges, you do not have the power to dictate these things to the executive branch. Yet they're still doing it. And Trump is not standing up and saying, fuck off. Mr. Trump, my president, dude, tell these people to go to hell. You've made your ruling, enforce it. And then you send your people out in the press to show why it's illegal. You show that dang Supreme Court ruling. You show how they didn't do shit for Obama and Biden breaking laws. For Obama deporting people without due process, supposedly. So, yeah. I really do hope he seems to refocus. I'm hoping it's the tariff stuff. I know I hate to repeat myself, but I'm really hoping. But since we aren't in a cult, we will also worry and call out some of this. But Donald Trump is way behind on the deportations. We have 20 million at least that came in under Biden. In fact, I'm seeing a lot of right-leaning people keep backing those numbers down. And that's why, unfortunately, I think we have too many right pundits that are now starting to cover for Trump, going, well, these deportation numbers aren't going to be near where he said they were. So to keep Trump looking good, they're going to start going, they backed it from 20 million to 14 million to 12, 10. I've even heard some say 6 to 8 million. Stop it. We know it was 20 million. Stop that just to make him look good. We do not need that on our side. We do not need to act like Democrats. We can tell the truth, it's 20 million, and be unhappy about the deportation numbers. We cannot fall into a cult. Sooner or later, it'll come back and bite us in the ass. The Democrats will suddenly turn around and go, yeah, it was 20 million. Why are you guys, you only knock your numbers down because you're Trump cult. We cannot do that. We need to stay honest. Whether we agree with how good a job Trump's doing or not on certain things, we need to stay honest. We cannot turn in to the left. But I really hope he focuses. Far north, sorry. Probably a lot of famous people involved, so they are keeping... Yeah, I agree totally with the Epstein thing. I do believe, yeah, that lady had problems, Bunny. She had mental problems and health problems both, so it could be hinky, maybe not. But she had problems, but I don't know. The Epstein stuff, I don't think there's enough Epstein files out there or anything that's ever gonna do anything to anybody more. If there was files, when Pam Bondi screwed the pooch on that stuff, they would have been deleted then. As I said before, the only people who have any actual real Epstein files are the higher-ups who ran Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Because we know there's somebody above them that ran them. There's somebody that's got those files that are still using them for power over people. Hence why some people on the Supreme Court two people who went in there fought their whole judicial life. They ruled a certain way. And now suddenly in the Supreme Court, they're ruling the exact opposite almost. Very consistently. In fact, Judge Roberts, his family was worried about him when he started ruling different. And now, what's her name in there? She's ruling different than she ever did. So either she's a chicken shit and she's afraid of the left, or she's being bribed or something, I believe. That's me. Politicians, celebrities, yes, 100%. Just like Diddy's freak-off parties. Yeah, there's a whole lot there because a lot of that evidence has never been released to the public. A lot of that stuff disappeared. And he had cameras and stuff too. Weird, huh? All right, guys, I got to get up in about an hour and a half. Hopefully those guys get here and I can get them back to sleep a little after I move some stuff for them. But probably do a stream probably this evening. Or maybe late again. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I know I want to do at least one today yet. Sometime before this time. Poof. But yeah, I'm going to hop out of here. Thank you very much for stopping in, everyone. Even the you lurkers in the background I see on over on Reddit too. Or Reddit. Rumble. Sorry, Rumble. Thank you, Far North Dirt Tracking. And I said it right this time. The caffeine is helping a little. All right. Have a good one. Thank you very much. I will talk to you later. By the way, hey, real quick before I go, Bunny, what are better times for you? I know you and I both keep weird schedules, but what is a good time to stream? Because I'm also talking to Jim Patterson a little more, too, about streaming times. So, yeah. But let me know if they don't get it in the chat before I get off here. Let me know. Hey, Paul, have a good one, buddy. I hope you... Dude, you really got me worried, man. You got to start feeling a little better. But I'm going to hop out, head out, and try to at least pass out a little bit. I'm sure the wife's going to be going, my gosh, you're still up again? Yeah, that's me. But, yeah. All right, guys, have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are at. And I will talk to you sometime within probably the next 14 hours or so. All right, have a good one. Be safe. Paul, get better, buddy, please. Bunny, allergies, yes, 'tis the season. 'Tis the season. We turned our air on early this year because the allergies were getting to me, too. Annoying. All right, have a good one, everybody. And by the way, don't take my ragging on Trump to say I don't support the man. I do. But I just hope he improves, and I'm not in a cult. So I will call out things when I don't see it going quite the way I think he should be doing it, or that he said he would be doing it. So, all right, mass deportations. Let's go. Talk to you